We have looked in the past at the drivers the top PGA Tour pros use, but given the distances they hit the ball are on a different scale to regular amateurs, we wanted to see whether more can be learned from the most popular drivers used by Champions Tour pros. Although the average driver swing speed in the Senior Tour is still over 106 miles an hour, and therefore well above the average male amateurs at 93.4 miles an hour, it is still closer than the 115 miles an hour average on the main PGA Tour. So in this video we take an in-depth look at the details of the drivers used by the best Champions Tour pros, the lofts they are playing, together with the specs of the driver shafts they use. Welcome back to the Golf in Focus channel everybody, and as part of our ongoing series of videos looking at what's in the bag of the best players in the Champions Tour, we are now going to take a run through what driver is the most used, what degree of driver is the most common, and what driver shafts they prefer. So after this video, please check out our overall video where we go through the entire bag to reveal what the most popular 14 clubs and setups are among the best senior pros. But focusing our immediate attention on the most talked about golf club in everyone's bag, the driver, we discovered 30 different models of driver being used among 51 of the best senior pros in the Champions Tour. Callaway drivers are the most used among this group, with 33% of the Champions Tour players analysed using them. Ping models are the next most popular, picked by 27%. TaylorMade and Titleist drivers are each chosen by 13%, with Tour Edged used by close to 10%. Japanese brand ZXO is used only by Ernie Els. Although driver data for the Champions Tour is not as readily available as on the PGA Tour, it was interesting to note that while Titleist models are the dominant force among the drivers used in the main tour, they are much less popular choice among the top senior pros on the Champions Tour. Further, while the dominant driver makes and models among the best senior pros may be different to those found in the main tour, what is clear, however, is that they go into just as much detail when it comes to the exactness of their driver setup. Even though, for example, Ping's G430 LST driver is the most popular individual driver model, our in-depth research uncovered among the Champions Tour pros, alongside TaylorMade Stealth Plus, you can be sure that there will be a unique setup for each of the 5 pros using them. Not only that, but Golf in Focus also found that certain players carry more than one driver around the Champions Tour with them, switching between 2 or even 3 different models. Dickie Pride, for example, carries a Ping G410 Plus around with him in addition to the Callaway Rogue ST he typically puts into play, while Brian Gay also has a Cobra LRDX low spin driver in his bag, together with a TaylorMade Stealth Plus. Steve Flesh, by comparison, carries not 2 but 3 different models of the Callaway Rogue ST driver family, allowing him to alternate between the standard Rogue ST Max and the draw-biased Max D and low spin options. It is also noticeable that not all the Champions Tour pros we found data for are immediately moving to the latest model of their preferred brand of driver, and continue to play with older driver models. Doug Barron, for example, continues to use his old trusty TaylorMade Stealth driver because he says he hits it 15 yards longer than anything else he tried. And that search for distance also causes us to notice another couple of quirks among the top senior pros. Padraig Harrington, for example, topped the driver distance charts in the Champions Tour in 2023 with an average total distance of 302.4 miles an hour. Incredibly, to do this, Harrington has increased his driver swing speed to measurements of 120 miles an hour and above on the Champions Tour, up from the 116 mile an hour speeds he was recording when he was winning both the 2008 British Open and USPGA at the peak of his golfing powers. But not only that, he also employs a baseball-style grip only when using his driver, in an effort to release a little extra energy into the driver club head for more overall power. And when it comes to the lofts of driver the best pros in the Champions Tour put in play, our analysis showed 9 degrees is the most used driver loft among the senior pros, with 24% of those we found data on setting up with it, including Padraig Harrington. 10.5 degrees is the next most popular loft, with a 5th choosing it, while 6 degrees is the lowest driver loft used by Brian Gay. It is common, of course, for top pros in all the major tours to change the loft of their driver on occasion, depending on the course setup they are playing in any particular week, and this is again noticeable on the Champions Tour. Kirk Triplett, for example, has a 9 degree and 10.5 degree Ping G425 Max driver in his golf bag, but for other senior pros, changes extend to carrying more than one driver of both different lofts and models. Brian Gay, by comparison, while typically putting the lowest lofted driver in the Senior Tour in play with his 6-degree TaylorMade Stealth Plus, also carries a 7.5-degree Cobra LTDX model in his bag to use on different occasions. Interestingly, however, we found no difference in the variance in driver lofts used by the different age groups of the top 100 on the Champions Tour, and as such their loft choices did not appear to be affected by this factor. Turning next to driver shafts, we discovered 29 different shafts being used among the 51 Champions Tour pros we had data for. Fujikura's Ventus Red 6X and Black 6X driver shafts are the most popular, with nearly a quarter of senior pros using one. The Ventus Blue 6X is the next most popular, alongside Ping's Tour 65 stiff shaft chosen by 60%. Graphic Design's Tour AD DI and IZ 6X shafts are the third most common, with close to 5% picking them. These results of our detailed driver study therefore show the driver shaft choices of the top Champions Tour pros map almost identically to those in the main tour, with the Fujikura Ventus Black 6X topping the charts among the top 100 on both these tours. We did find more variety of driver shafts on the main tour compared to the Champions Tour. However, given the number of shaft choices we found in this research, the senior pros are clearly just as exacting when it comes to making their driver shaft choice. Kevin Sutherland, interestingly, for example, carries two models of his 10.5-degree Ping G425 LST driver with two different shafts in them. One is fitted with an extra stiff Flex Ventus Red 6X, while the other has a stronger True Temper Project X Hazardous Smoke Red RDX 60 TX Flex shaft in it. Steve Flesch, meanwhile, takes things even further, choosing three different shafts from three different manufacturers, True Temper, Graphic Design and Fujikura, in the three different models of the Callaway Rogue ST driver family he alternates between. A key question also, of course, when it comes to driver choices by all the pros, however, is how much it is influenced by sponsorship deals. Once again, the data available in Champions Tour pros is not nearly as abundant as on the PGA Tour, but our analysis found 45% of the 51 senior pros we researched playing the same driver model as one of their sponsors. In all likelihood, this number is potentially higher. However, there were clear examples, including the great Bernard Langer, who carries 7 different brands of club in his bag, that sponsorship is not always the overriding factor when it comes to the driver choices the senior pros make. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please do hit that like button and click on one of those boxes on the screen to join us in another one. And as ever, and most importantly, we hope you're enjoying your golf.